It was just another ordinary afternoon at a busy McDonald's on Elmwood Avenue. The buzz of the kitchen, the hiss of the fryer, and the murmur of customers filled the air. Behind the counter stood Clara Dixon, a 22-year-old college student working part-time to pay for her education. Clara had kind eyes, a calm smile, and the kind of quiet grace that made people feel at ease. She wasn't the kind to seek attention, but that day, attention would find her. A tall teenager stepped into the restaurant, flanked by two sharply dressed men. He was trying to blend in, wearing a hoodie and jeans, but there was something different about him. Clara noticed immediately. It was Barron Trump. He looked slightly uncomfortable, clearly not used to being in such a public setting alone. He stood in line quietly, brows furrowed as he scanned the menu. When it was finally his turn, Clara greeted him like she would any other customer. "Hi there, what can I get for you today?" Barron ordered a cheeseburger combo and reached into his pocket, but then his face changed. He patted his other pockets and looked back at one of the suited men with concern. He had forgotten his wallet. Before the situation could become awkward, Clara calmly reached into her apron, swiped her debit card, and paid for his meal. "It's on me," she said with a soft smile. "Don't worry about it." Barron looked stunned. He mumbled a quiet, "Thank you," and took his tray. Clara didn't make a big deal out of it. She didn't whisper to her coworkers or try to take a photo. She just returned to helping the next customer. To her, it was a simple act of kindness. But for Barron, it meant much more. What Clara didn't know was that one of the security agents had discreetly texted someone as soon as the incident happened. That someone was Donald Trump. Later that evening, Barron recounted the moment to his father over dinner. "She was kind, Dad," he said. "She didn't even act like she knew who I was." Donald Trump, who was used to people treating his family differently, raised an eyebrow. "Clara, huh?" he muttered. "At the McDonald's on Elmwood?" Barron nodded. Trump thought for a moment, then stood up and picked up his phone. "Let's thank her properly." Within hours, arrangements were made. No press, no publicity, just a quiet visit with a powerful message. The next day, Clara was back behind the counter. She had a double shift and was already tired when the lunch rush began. She didn't notice the black SUVs pulling into the parking lot, but everyone else did. The restaurant grew silent as Donald Trump, flanked by Secret Service, walked through the doors. Clara froze. He walked right up to the counter. "Are you Clara Dixon?" he asked with a smile. Clara nodded, completely speechless. "You helped my son yesterday. That was a big deal," Trump said, "and I wanted to thank you in person." He pulled a sleek white envelope from his pocket and handed it to her. Inside was a full scholarship to cover the rest of her college education. Clara's eyes filled with tears. I don't know what to say." "Just keep being you," Trump replied. "The world needs more people like you." The restaurant erupted into applause, but Trump wasn't done. He motioned to an aide, who handed Clara a second envelope. Inside was a job offer to intern at one of his companies the following summer. "Hardworking, humble, and kind," he said. "That's the kind of person I want on my team." Clara was overwhelmed. The whole restaurant watched as the quiet cashier became the center of a story no one saw coming. But here's the thing, she never did it for the recognition. She never thought it would come back to her in any way. And that's what made it so powerful. Because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness echo the loudest. A few months later, Clara started her internship. She walked into the office building nervous but excited. She remembered that moment at the register, when kindness was the only thing on her mind. That moment had changed her life. Barron visited once during the summer. He smiled when he saw Clara. "You're still the same," he said. Clara laughed. "You mean still working too hard?" He nodded. "No, still kind." And for Clara, that meant more than any scholarship ever could. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more inspiring content, and let us know in the comments, what's the smallest act of kindness that changed your life? And hey, stick around. You won't believe what happened when a janitor got mistaken for a CEO. That one's next.